You're tuned into the new Old Heads podcast, premiered every Thursday at noon at bringingdowntheband.com and brought to you by No Bad Ideas, Coleman Dental, Printfinity, and Indie CD and Vinyl. Support the new Old Heads by visiting our Patreon at patreon.com/newoldheads.
You are now tuned in to the new Old Heads podcast. I am Major 7th, and I'm getting laughed at already. Episode 147. Sitting at the head of the table, former radio personality, also the voice of Indianapolis. My man Jay Moore. How are you, sir?
Doing well, sir. Doing well. Feeling well.
That shirt is cold, by the way. Shout out to New Jack City. You're stunning on him right there.
A little bit.
Across the table, producer extraordinaire, also producer, professor, and founder of Bringing Down the Band, my man Lonegevity. How are you, sir?
I'm swell, Michael. How are you?
Good to see you. I see you. Product placement with the mug. I see you.
Yeah, I'm out here trying to product place.
I see how you turned it like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up. You gonna turn it back? Cool. Across the table, fresh to death as always, DJ / the face of Printfinity and also co-founder of Bringing Down the Band, my man DJ Jay Diff.
Salutations.
What's good, son? That's it? Head nod?
Yep.
I'll take
Chilling
that.
in the cut, man. You good?
I see you, '𝗲𝗏 stunting out here. I see you. I like that.
It's unofficial, but it's official.
Right.
Shout out to '𝗲𝗏 Radio.
Indeed.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, there's a reason I have this shirt on, too.
Yeah, I know. You know,
Yeah, it's rest in peace to Percy Miracles.
I like that.
Indeed.
I like that. To my immediate left, DJ himself, great DJ, my man, the incomparable DJ Spoolz.
Hello, Michael.
What's good, son?
Chilling. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Good.
Good to see you as always.
Likewise, man.
Kato's in the building as well to catch everything that I mess up. Red August is doing nothing as always. So let's go ahead and get it popping. I want to start with a hot topic that has lasted since our last episode. 𝗏𝗲𝗡 is still in the news for his partnership. Seeing a lot of foolishness, a lot of foolish takes on this. I'm going to go ahead and read this. This is per Rolling Stone. Roc Nation and the National Football Association announced a multi-tiered partnership. This was last Tuesday afternoon. As part of the deal, Jay-Z's entertainment company will become the NFL's live music entertainment strategist. That's per ESPN, also the New York Times. The partnership will see Roc Nation assist in the league's key events like the Super Bowl halftime show, while also creating podcasts, visual albums, and organizing separate events and content. So
let's talk about the gravy. We kind of touched on that part.
What's the gravy? Talk to me about the gravy.
The gravy is what has happened since we mentioned this last week, which I think we all knew what was going to happen once it spilled over and everybody got their hands on it and got a opinion and an idea about what was going on.
People are in their feelings.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of back and forth. I don't know about you guys, but a lot of back and forth, a lot of people jumping out the window on this topic. And we know it all stems around, obviously, with Cap and you know, Eric Reid for the Panthers is out here. He really showing out in terms of the comments that he's making. I know we still got to get to our list, so we can keep it brief. But I'm just going to go around the table. I'm going to start with you, Jay Moore. You got thoughts just in general on it's not a beef, but it's just the back and forth, especially in the black community in terms of how 𝗏𝗏 is perceived and also Cap and Eric Reid.
Well, you know, the crazy thing is people want to say it's a back and forth. It's really just been a fourth from Eric Reid, the Know Your Rights camp,
That's
Nessa
fair.
from Hot 97 and USA, who happens to be Colin Kaepernick's girlfriend,
Right.
who I'm kind of tired of hearing from at this point.
We always hear from her, never from Cap.
You know, and
Imagine how it is in that house. I'm going to leave that alone, though.
She
Yeah.
cold, though.
You
No
know,
disrespect,
well,
Cap. We
just
see
saying, you know, you can either run your household or run around it. But that's neither here nor there.
Don't do that.
I don't want to get into that.
Don't
but
do that.
the thing is, this is what Jay-Z said it on his last album. You can either nobody wins when the family feuds.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Colin Kaepernick and Jay-Z both have the same goal, and it's to see wrongs get righted and
Sure.
see equal access for marginalized communities. You know, unfortunately, and because the thing is, I tell people, you know, it's not just enough, and we've talked about this on the show, to say, okay, I support Colin Kaepernick. I was like,
Right.
okay, have you pledged any money to the Know Your Rights campaign? something I've done more than once at this point. Not large amounts, but I was like, look, it was Super Bowl Sunday, $7 for number 7.
Right.
Whatever. You know what I'm saying? You get the people who say they riding for Colin, to do that. You've raised a lot of money for a good cause.
Right.
The thing with Jay-Z is he said this, and a lot of people, it rubbed him the wrong way because he's sitting right next to Roger Goodell, and he sees him smiling with him. For the optics of that are a little off-putting to people who have been supporting Colin Kaepernick this whole time. Yeah. But at the same time, I feel he was right. Okay, we kneel, we bring awareness. What's the next step? Because at this point, I see Eric Reed still kneeling and Kenny Stills in Miami. Okay, I get it. That's admirable of you, but you're still in partnership with the NFL.
They're also still cashing those checks.
Yeah, so it's and the thing is, okay, you kneel, but you still go play.
Facts.
And I don't have an issue with that. I think go get your money. And if you're about that action, bring some of that money to help the community. But don't tell me, Eric Reed, no cap, no NFL, except when the Panthers are playing. Because as far as I'm concerned,
hey, preach, hey, talk that talk.
You were the
That's it
first
right
to, because if you were really about that action, you would have said no to the contract until, but I didn't want him to do that.
If you were about that action, you'd be standing next to Kaepernick right now
with,
without a job
but
in the
you
league.
couldn't.
Let's keep it a buck.
But
I don't think that's true, man. I think that's
Huh?
I think
No,
that's
but
their job.
Hold on.
But the
Like,
thing is, I wanted him to take the contract. I wanted him because he has a larger voice when he's in the NFL. So I have no problem with it.
Right.
But the thing is, there's a lot of people who everyone is so quick to call someone a sellout. Or
the only reason I
the
stepped
word.
in because
no problem.
It was kind of like to expect him to. I mean, if Kaepernick were in the league, he'd be doing that too. Basically, they were riding on that premise for him since he couldn't. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't think not playing, like not going to work to do your job.
This is my angle on that.
Would have been the way to like. I think that's
No,
too much,
because
man. I think
I
you still have to give credit to what Eric Reed and Kenny Stills have done.
That's true. This is my angle on that.
Go ahead.
And
I don't
I'll
think
wait to talk about it more. But yeah, go ahead, man.
Okay. I think to your point, what you're saying is just weird to see and off-putting to see Eric Reed jumping out the window like that when you're in the league. Like he's saying Jay-Z should have did this, he should have did that. Yeah, I'm playing, but I'm going to be a thorn in the NFL side.
Are you really being a thorn, though?
What does that really mean?
But are you really being a thorn, though?
No, because they're still writing you a check that you're cashing.
Thank you.
So you being a thorn in their side has nothing to do with you showing up to work on Sunday. I can't say that and not go to work tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or go to work and just not do my job necessarily. 'Cause
Right.
that's what it comes down to. If you're not going to do your job, then you're a thorn in their side and they'll just kick you out.
There you go.
But as far as everybody else's opinion on it, and I hate the fact that people are trying to take sides. It makes absolutely no sense. And it's people that don't realize they don't see a bigger picture. And I've also even seen people comparing this to, if you support Jay-Z partnering with the NFL, then why didn't you support Kanye with Trump? The difference is Jay-Z is vocal in telling you exactly what he's trying to do. Well, not necessarily exactly, because it's all chess at the end of the day.
True.
When Kanye came out, he really didn't have a reason other than, I just want to be a free thinker and everybody else doesn't like him, so I like him.
Jay-Z sat at that table, spoke eloquently about his plans and what he was thinking, his goals, what he was looking to accomplish. He was not there talking about the president needs to have the flyest planes and be the freshest.
Right.
Like, that comparison is the dumbest shit I've heard. Like, you're talking about the president of the United States of America. Mm-hmm. Like, I hate that comparison. That's ignorant to me. Jump in, Lone. I got to come back to Spoolz because matter of fact, go to Spoolz because I want you to finish your thought.
Oh no, I just think time will tell with all of it, and I agree with Terry's point. Like, it's unfortunate to see people divided in any way about this. You know, I think what kind of maybe set it off, and I don't want to speak for anybody, was the Jay-Z's comment about I think he said we're past kneeling.
Yep.
At this point, and I think you could take that in many ways. And I think you know what I'm saying. So
I agree.
that's why I say time will tell.
Mm-hmm.
But what would have been, I don't know. It's perfect world. It's not a perfect world. You know what I mean? Like that wouldn't have been said, or that wouldn't have been the main soundbite. And like maybe there still is. I mean, I don't know how much of this has to do with the other.
Right.
Colin Kaepernick was doing this because of like police brutality. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I feel like that's been lost in all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
and it was lost.
tried to make
it was lost before this,
right?
Too. It was lost, last season.
That's a good point.
So
that's a good point.
And as far as Jay-Z's role, like I said, time will tell. I mean, he's had the job for 2 days. That's not even the NFL season. So let's see what happens. But I think again, a point I've made. Not talking about him rapping in any way, shape, or form, but he is a smart businessman and he is a capitalist, and that is not a bad thing necessarily. You know what I mean? It's not my vibe or whatever, but Rock Nation is going to prosper from this.
Oh yeah,
100%.
He's not hurting for money.
Not
financially.
At all. Jump in, Lone. You got any?
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, it's not like Jay, needed to do this necessarily. It is a power move. I think it is a capitalist move. No, I agree with mostly with what Killer Mike has actually come out and said as well.
He was on Real Time
with Bill Maher.
Yeah,
and
great clip.
And it's essentially what everybody else is saying here too. Like you can look at two issues. We are a multifaceted people. Like kneeling is, for police brutality and ownership inside the NFL are two different things.
Facts.
And I think what Jay was trying to, to relay in what he was saying was, when he says we're past kneeling, is just saying, what is our action plan? What type of action are we going to be making? And his saying that was not saying, okay, kneeling is not beneficial.
Because that's how we got to this place.
Right.
Facts.
He's just saying, okay, maybe it's time to take the next step forward, which getting Jay-Z in the ownership position in the NFL is a huge step. And
he followed up with a comment saying that he wasn't trying to diminish the kneeling after he said that.
Yeah.
Just to clarify, you could
It's
easily
a passing
say,
of a baton, like this is a track race.
Yeah.
He's like, I
You know
want
what
to
I'm
be
saying?
clear.
But just like him becoming this partnership with Rock Nation has nothing to do with kneeling necessarily in police brutality. I mean, it does.
Or Cap having a job.
right.
For sure. And maybe he will. I mean, who knows what that's going to turn into. I've literally just kind of we talked about it very briefly last week because it just came out and we had our thoughts on it. And I watched social media kind of erupt from both sides. If you're on Twitter, you can see that.
Yeah.
And I just kind of watched because I want to see what this is like in like a month.
Right.
And, and after some things are being made.
People have their fantasy football roster set then, so they won't care.
Man, it's funny to see
Talk that
people
talk.
like jump out the window on issues like that don't have a stake in anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like everybody can form an opinion, but they can't answer that opinion factually without being put in that position. And it's a position that they would never know, because these are people that rub elbows with, I mean, the who's who of the United States per se. You know what I'm saying? So if you're put in a position in order to be able to get in, have a seat at the table per se, and change the seating position,
Yep.
why wouldn't you do that?
Well, the argument is, realistically, the argument is, are we, not me, but, black people in general, do we want a seat at the table, right? Or do we want to just create our own thing, right? Isn't that essentially what a lot of the conversation kind of stems as a back and forth when you talk about the capitalist element?
Yeah.
Well,
It's easy to say that from the outside looking in. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not in position to be with the people or the ones that are actually doing that, then you don't really know how to maneuver or make that a for real action plan.
But I'm saying that's essentially what the argument is, though, isn't it?
Well, because I've heard more than one person say, well, why don't we start our own league? Which ideally it would be something fantastic. But
Sounds great.
You have to think about it like this. Remember the XFL?
Yep.
Remember the World League? Remember
What's that one Trump invested in?
that was
They just had a
USFL.
USFL.
Yeah. Remember the
was gonna be the
American
biggest thing ever.
Alliance of Football?
They just had that one.
They used to give
Didn't
you
mean-
throwaway cards back in the day. Like you get the NFL cards, and then you see one of those cards. You're like, damn, I didn't want that in my pack.
And
Yep.
you know what? And so there are people, this was the league run by Bill Polian,
Yeah.
and they got an infusion of $250 million in the middle of the season from the owner of the Carolina Hurricanes hockey team, and it still folded before the end of the season.
Yeah.
Facts.
So I understand that mindset, but right now the NFL
There
has-
was no championship game.
yeah, the
all.
labor force for the NFL is more than 75% African American. Okay? Why not? If we are in that much control of what happens as far as the product is concerned, I don't think it's unrealistic to say, yeah, we should have a seat at that table. If Jay-Z has a chance to become an owner, how are you looking at that as a negative? Is it because it's Jay-Z? Is it because you feel like he's against Colin Kaepernick? All I know is if you're kneeling for awareness, that's great. But you know what? I think everyone who could actually be aware is aware at this point. The people who aren't just don't want to be. They're the people who like Chuck Woolery. If you challenge him on Twitter, it's wild. Who think that racism is just a tool of the left to make black people angry. It's not a real thing anymore.
Thank you.
But at this point,
Is that what Chuck Woolery says?
don't follow him, but check out Chuck Woolery on Twitter.
crazy.
If it wasn't his
He was
real
saying some
feelings,
fuckery.
it would be funny if it wasn't real.
Yo,
This is how he feels.
I
Like
have
the
not
dude
seen
who
that.
Love Connection is
I hear wilding
borderline
on Twitter. Huh?
racist.
He's
It's
bugging,
crazy.
man. Wow.
There ain't no border.
Yeah, pretty much
What
racist.
was that? What's that Bill Murray line? Well, she was borderline for a while, then he crossed the border.
Yeah, so
Malone said they know.
Ghostbusters, sorry.
but if you're kneeling because you want Colin Kaepernick to have a
He
job,
gone.
first of all, you need to take a couple things in consideration. He would have had a job with the Ravens had his girlfriend not incented the owner. He was,
They're not kneeling because he wants a job.
but this
Has
is the
nothing-
thing.
Right, it has nothing
I
to do
think
with
it's
the
I
job.
think this is where it's getting lost, where there are some people who are kneeling. Like you ask them about it, and they're like, "Well, Cap needs to get a job." I was like, "That Cap wasn't kneeling about his job."
He's got settled. I think that's a wrap at this point.
And that, to
Might
me,
be.
But you know what? Eric Reed was part of that lawsuit too, and he's in the league.
the settlement part is the part I think that nobody pays attention to because it's like, all right, so Fam got paid, Eric Reed is still getting paid, but y'all mad at Hov for trying to get paid.
And
I don't
they're
understand- I don't
also
think that-
mad at him
I don't think that's
because
relevant. I don't think it's
they're also
relevant
mad at him
either.
because
But I've seen people say that though. It's like
They
I'm
have
like,
said that, but they're mad at him because
just
they're
a dumb-
saying that they're putting JD into it now.
right.
They're saying that he had the opportunity to do it, and Jay told him not to.
Now, if that's
But
true,
that's messed up
dirty.
because that's on you.
That's
just-
dirty
that's
as
a-
hell.
that's a-
That's the only
that's
part
dirty.
where I'm like, "Damn, come on, Jay."
That's dirty, but that's also on JD
Yeah.
because if you're put in position to do that as well,
That's a
and
gangster
you don't
business
take
move.
that, and you're asking Jay. I mean, I understand asking somebody that you're comfortable with as far as having a big business mind or whatnot, but just because you ask don't mean you have to take their advice. And then you see Jay-Z.
That's exactly what Jay did with Colin. Apparently, he did talk to Colin, and I
His
heard.
girl said he didn't talk to him.
I heard.
I'm tired of hearing from. I've said this
She the
before.
only one we hear from.
Colin, if I know you're not watching this, but if it gets
Never
to you
know.
somehow, we want to hear from you. Go on Sports Center. If talk to Dr. Boyce Watkins or Tariq Nasheed,
but I
or
just
whoever,
heard-
I
but
like-
sit down and talk to somebody because there's so many. Like I've heard you want $20 million in the start. Well, if that's not true, then let us know. If you're willing to take a backup role and less than $20 million, because that may
He
be
ain't
why
trying to
you.
play. He ain't trying to play no more. I don't think he's trying to
I
play.
think
no
he
more.
is. says he's
because
trying,
had the
he's working out every day.
He had that campaign that came out like a week or so ago that actually said that 3 years now I'm still getting up at 4 or 5 in the morning working out, still don't have a job.
Well, if you want to play, you need actually, that's not fair to say. If you want to play, you need to let us know because they got what's the guy who used to quarterback in Chicago?
Yeah, dude.
Jay Cutler. He
They'll
was
come
out of.
They'll come let you know if you have
He
a
was
job like
he was
that.
out of the league and took a TV, and they offered him $10 million to suck in Miami last year. So I mean, it can't be about that. So I give you more credit than that because that's you. That lets you know they went and got Jay Cutler off the scrap heap. Then that's let me know it was collusion more than anything.
Dude, it was worse. It's worse than Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler was at the high end of some of the quarterbacks that we saw last year.
Chad Kelly for the Indianapolis Colts, mind you.
Good, he's great. I mean, it was
some of them dudes.
Yeah, he's been arrested
and that's one thing.
several times.
I'm glad you guys touched on that.
Good.
I wanted to talk about that. I think Freddie Gibbs. That was like fuck Colin Kaepernick.
That was
like
stupid.
the settlement.
Yeah.
I was
I
like,
didn't like that. That was distasteful.
It was a collusion lawsuit.
Yeah.
He was suing for past wages. Like that was his money that he felt was owed to him anyway.
For
like,
sure.
That had nothing to, you know,
It wasn't relevant. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So anyway,
Hey,
time
Don't
time
fuck
will
up your
tell,
bag,
man.
Freddie.
No,
Yeah,
time will tell on this whole thing, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Look,
so
I'm
I hope it like all this stuff dies down and it's just more about
The actual work.
the work being done and somehow things and shit gets better.
Where's Ja when you need him? We need Ja.
That's what we need.
Yeah.
What does Ja Rule have? No,
Ja Rule?
No,
Yeah.
but I mean, just to kind of to wrap this up because I know we got so much other stuff to talk about.
Yeah, that's the.
I think if there's one person who we owe a wait and see to, it's Jay-Z. We talk about 𝐀𝐿EF, the work he's done, the fact that he sets up trust funds for people who've been murdered by the police, and he and Beyonce have been paying people's legal bills, not just the famous people like Meek Mill, but like the activists who've been getting arrested on the ground. He's looking out for these people, and to go from zero to sellout on him, I think is unfair.
Yeah, I'm not feeling that.
Yeah,
I'm not feeling
I
that
even
at
seen
all.
there was a post on Facebook that talked about he's I guess funding some kind of monitoring system. It's like an ankle bracelet
like
per
the
se.
ankle.
I
Yeah,
But
think I missed that.
my angle with that, just real quick, I just want to touch on it, was that if it's something that's keeping people out of prison, which would have helped somebody like who you just mentioned,
Meek Mill
not 𝗏𝐿EF
Browder.
if that would have helped him not be in prison. So I don't see any fault with him helping a company like that would keep somebody out of prison that can't afford to get out.
And plus,
while their case is
and
going
plus,
on.
you know what?
Kill the bail system essentially.
Yeah.
Which
cash
is
bail.
which is fucking fraud anyways.
And
Right.
plus, if you have a mutual fund, you might be investing in some things that you might find to be unsavory if you really go through that paperwork.
Your
So,
401k.
exactly.
Let's wrap it up, B.
Let's
What we
get to
got?
some music, man, because that topic can be a whole show.
Word.
Let's talk about Lil Music.
Lil music.
Lil Music.
Lil.
I was pleasantly surprised to hear that one of my favorite groups was just randomly dropping an album.
Random as hell.
Yeah, super random.
We knew it was coming.
But I didn't expect it like that though. They
To
caught me
get
off
it on a
guard.
Monday night,
Yeah.
it's kind of
On a Tuesday. Let's
actually
keep it
midnight.
funky. It was a Tuesday.
I got it
Shout
on
out-
a Monday night.
And shout out to
Tuesday.
Jay Diff for actually having this conversation last week. He was talking about bringing music back to coming out on Tuesdays. We just had this conversation. So, Little Brother dropped.
They might watch the show, man.
I mean, we have
never
our
know.
album Tuesday series on Bringing Down the Band.
Hey, so they dropped May the Lord Watch.
Mayhem.
Man, this album is dope, man. I ain't gonna even hold you. I know we can talk about it for a while, but I'm gonna go around the table. Keep it brief if you can. We still got to get to the list, but production jumped out at me 100% from the top. I do not, and I'll go on record. I do not think Ninth Wonder is missed. That's my opinion. I do not think he's missed.
Wouldn't say he's missed.
I don't like the wording there.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, let me get my 2 cents because you guys are
Sure.
huge on this. Like, and I totally respect Little Brother, and like I love the Minstrel Show, and but I know this is like you guys shit, like you guys nerd out. But I listened to it once. I was working though, and it was super groovy and very easy to listen to, and very sharp. I thought, you know what I mean, and smart, but still while being kind of funny at times. Like it was just something I'm going to listen to again.
Yeah.
Probably tomorrow. So
Yeah.
you guys go ahead, man.
That's not a diss. I'm just saying, the vibe was fine for me. That's what I meant. The vibe was
Okay.
fine for me. I have no problems with the vibe whatsoever.
Okay. It was just a weird phrase.
Hey, I'm sorry. Jay Diff, what you think?
Backhand compliment.
I know. It was kind of interesting.
Was that a backhand compliment?
Kind of was a little
I
bit.
just like the vibe. I'm not saying he not nice. It's just I have so many people hit me up about the production, like shitting on the production, like,
can
oh
dig it.
man, the
But
production's not
that's
that good.
that's fanboy
Those-
shit.
those are
right
Is
Nine-
that what that
That's
is?
ninth
that's
stands.
people that want
You know what? I
Those are
stand
nine
corrected.
stands.
That's
Yeah.
what that is.
Yeah.
All right.
Like
I'll
I
take that.
definitely have seen people come out and say, "Oh, why? Oh man, no ninth on a Little Brother album." Like, where have you been the
This
last
isn't the
15
first time.
years?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I
But
mean-
I think it's stellar. I've probably ran it at least 3 times today.
Mm-hmm.
The UBN network is back.
100%. Shout
I'm
out
very
to
Rest in
excited
peace,
about
Person
that.
Miracles.
yes.
Indeed.
Rest in peace. Yep. Shouts to Joe
Yeah.
Scudda. You
Joe
know, got
Scudda.
his whiteness back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit's hilarious. But now, top to bottom, it's a solid offering from Little Brother, man. I mean,
Yep.
what else could you possibly expect or want
Yeah.
other than what you just got? Because it's like Spoolz said, it's solid. It's
It's like a modern day minstrel show,
it
part
is.
2.
It sounds
Part
like
2.
it's part 2.
Just-
Grown up version.
I'm here
Updated
for
version.
it,
Yeah.
and it's gonna sound really good in the fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah,
Jump in, longevity, sir.
Fonte's, he's been on record as my favorite rapper. So I mean,
He better than Schoolie D.
Don't do that.
damn.
You know-
son.
We ain't got there yet. I'm sorry.
damn,
Go ahead.
Daniel.
are we gonna?
I mean, maybe. I mean,
I mean,
we
me?
haven't mentioned Fonte's name. Schoolie D already was mentioned.
Sorry about that. bro.
But yes, but that's not where I was going. No, I mean, it's always the new 𝗘𝗏𝗄. Whenever you get new 𝗘𝗏𝗄, is great, man. I'm always here for it. He's one of the greatest ever, and
Agreed.
he has been one of my favorite for 15 years. You know, the greatest thing about this project to me is it made me a little bit excited for music, and as somebody who listens to a lot of music and shares a lot of music and does a lot of music for a long time, like it's real easy to get in a whatever type phase every once in a while. But I was generally excited to listen to this when it came out.
Mhm.
And
I love the fact that we didn't know.
Yeah.
Like, people need to follow that structure, I think. Like, just announce it 12 hours before it comes out.
nowadays you got to.
Yeah.
in order for it to feel special, nothing feels special anymore because
Yeah,
everybody
because
drops everything.
people
so
have a
fast.
release date and it doesn't come out on that release date.
Right.
Well, even more than that, like it's like it's got this huge buildup. Like people go through media so fast now.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it just it's like it's a surprise element. So
Yeah.
it was great. No, I thought the album was great. It's probably it's one of my favorite albums of the year, if not the favorite.
It's definitely top 5 so far.
I did not know the producers when I first listened to it, but I definitely heard Crisis. I definitely heard Black Milk. I heard Knots on there.
I
Yeah,
heard
definitely.
Anderson .Paak. It's not on it's not in the credits at all, but I definitely heard Anderson
But like
.Paak on
when I
there.
was listening to it, I was like, oh, there's Knots. I was like, oh, there's Knots again. I was like, I think that's Black Milk. And then,
Focus stole the show for
but
me.
Focus was
Yeah.
to me. Focus also was a standout. He had
Yeah,
some
he
of the
stole
he had the heat. I
Black
mean,
Magic is my favorite joint on there.
Black Magic
Yeah.
is real
That's my
dope.
joint.
I like the feel a lot. I think Knots' flip of the Bobby Caldwell sample was
Oh my
crazy.
God.
That was nasty.
It's not one of my favorite beats, but what he did with it was really, really great. The
So
phrasing and
So underrated. As
What's
a
the one with
producer.
the Nina Simone flip?
Yeah, Simone.
I don't know,
I gotta go back.
no idea.
Yeah, I'm asleep.
Okay.
I feel bad.
Yeah, I don't remember hearing a Nina Simone. Sample.
Maybe I was about to say maybe I missed it. Knots was in his bag though, couple times, 3 times, 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, and Fonte was stellar. Rapper was stellar as well. So I mean,
Yeah, shout out to Big Pooh, man. Big Pooh was in his bag. I'm usually on the team that tries to play Pooh. I can admit that. Pooh was in his bag on this album, 100%.
I think Pooh's been in his bag, but that's
That's-
been my opinion for a while now.
Kato's looking at me like I got Crohn's.
He said he
disease.
got the Pooh formula
like
down.
you got what?
Don't do that.
He
Go
said
ahead.
he said he got
Did
the
you say
formula
Crohn's
down as
disease?
far as what he's gonna say.
That's the only thing that came in my head. Man. Go ahead, Jay Moore.
Okay.
That's fucked up.
That's the best.
No,
I got.
I've run the album in its entirety 3 times already.
Yeah,
Twice while working out and just listening. And the thing is, like I said, no skips.
no, that's
Not
got no
one
skits.
skip.
Not
That's
even
tough.
not even the skits. Or
No,
skips.
the skits tie it together, and like I said, there are times and I would never say this about the Minstrel Show or any of the subsequent albums that Little Brother did together. There's some times where I think rapper Big Pooh is outdoing 𝗏𝗏, and 𝗏𝗏
Look at
is
𝐀𝐁𝐿.
yes. Did you listen to the album? All right. Well, there you go.
I'll say he held his own. He definitely snapped on. He definitely really snapped
He
on a couple
snapped
of them.
out, and I was like, okay.
Let's not get carried away here.
But I'm not gonna.
I didn't say for the whole album, but I'm just saying there's
Let's not get carried away
There's
here.
parts of the album where I'm like, well, if it was who had the better verse, I have to give it to rapper Big Pooh,
Well, that's your opinion.
and that's
Y'all
what
leave
the
a
show's about.
Please leave us comments about that comment.
I'm
if
trying
you
to
will.
think of the song that I'm thinking of. There was a very personal. He had a very personal verse on one of them that
It's towards the end.
that he was really going in on it, which
Yeah.
was really dope. I'm obviously a huge 𝗏𝗏 fan, so it's never going to be the case for me
𝗏𝗏's
against pretty much anybody.
𝗏𝗏's
So-
an
I
I mean,
absolute fool.
it's just that like
I had Nick play clap that clap shit with Torre last week at Coaches.
okay.
Shout out to Torre. Torre nice too. Yeah, shout out to Torre.
It's just that I think we're all five of us at this table. We're kind of at a spot in this life where that for real grown man rap appeals to us just because of what we're going through and the things we've been through. Like I can only when I listen to records about we in the club and we trapping and this, that, and the third. I was like, all right, man, I'm 42 years old.
And this is what I'm coining the new easy listening.
The
You
new,
know what I'm
easy
saying? Because
listening.
like this shit is very therapeutic to the ears,
Yeah.
Right.
so to speak, to hear it. And this is something you can ride around with your kids listening to.
Facts.
And even though it's cussing in there and shit, but
Cussing and shit.
cussing and shit,
Yeah.
it's still something that
Way to
you would
drive
be
that
all
point
right
home.
to them listening to. And everything doesn't have to be turned up all the damn time.
Yeah,
So
and
that-
he mentioned that on one of his verses, which is kind of
About going to the club, and it's just like,
and it was
dude, I
funny
don't-
because last week at the build that I co-host every third Thursday, we were talking about going out. And I was like, man, if it's an event, it's gonna have to be an event to get my 36-year-old ass off the couch
I heard
out to
that.
come out to it. If I don't have anything to do with it,
I heard
and
that.
then this came
Oh, I
out,
need to
and
check.
he's
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Jay
And
Moore
so,
said, I need
Hey.
to check.
Word up.
and then he has a
where I'm
verse about it. I'm just like,
Yeah.
it took me back, man. I'm gonna get out of my bag here in a second.
Sorry.
Get emotional
Cook, go
about
ahead.
it.
But
Cook.
It's
you know,
cool.
like I grew up, like I grew into like a grown person listening to Little Brother. You know, like that's my generation. You know, like Little Brother is my generation. Like I didn't grow up in the '90s like that. Like I mean, I did. but
𝗏𝗏 might be my cousin.
he might be.
𝗏𝗏,
He might be.
come
He
mess
might
with
be.
your folks now.
yeah.
Come
His
mess
last
with your
name is
folks.
𝗏𝗏. My last name is 𝗏𝗏.
𝗏𝗏, come mess with your
But my
folks.
dad switched that.
Yeah.
Because
We got your cousin.
we
here,
didn't want no
brother.
ties to that back shit. So we got our own last name.
Okay.
Come mess with
Yeah.
your folks, 𝗏𝗏.
And we did
got
go
it.
as them for an exchange for
We
Halloween.
did.
So
We did.
They actually liked that picture,
They
if
did.
I'm
True.
not mistaken. Yeah.
yeah, if
Yeah.
you look at Nicolet's page, I think our picture's still up there. That's
Yeah,
right.
y'all killed them
On
with
his
that.
Instagram.
No, I mean it's to me because like I said, I'm still in the middle of that club life. Because like I said, as long as you
Now
got a
you
check,
really in that club life.
yeah, as
100%.
long as but if you got to have a check for me to be about that club life,
Because you see the new 21-year-olds come
yeah, I
in.
do. It's something.
Jay Morrissey, I'm busting it open out there.
Every
Wide
Thursday
open.
night.
See, I'm busting it open.
Instagram models and everything.
I'm
Yeah.
talking about busting that thing open. You
But
see
the
it.
thing is,
Wow.
I have to listen to all this wild shit, and this is like a breath of fresh air, musically.
Yeah.
Because usually, even when I go running now, I don't listen to a whole lot of new music.
Yeah.
Like I listen to podcasts when I'm working out, but I listen. Like I said, I listened to this album 3 times.
Yeah,
it
me
hasn't
too.
even been 24 hours.
It's kind of like wine after work, and you can attest to this. It was one young lady one night that came up asking us to play a certain vibe of music, and we're like, no, we're not gonna do that. And Jay Moore was like, you can go hear that stuff everywhere
Anywhere you
else, but here, this is the vibe we want to give to you. You know what I'm saying? And this Little Brother is definitely something I can throw in the mix.
Create something
At
special
wine,
for people.
yeah, at wine after work, and it blends right in with the atmosphere.
I can dig it.
But then we got to kick her out.
Yeah, we did. Hey, and then
You know
what
she
did I
had-
play after we kicked her out?
The song she wanted to hear.
Wow.
Just
so
to
she
be
could hear it
spiteful.
on the way to the car.
Yeah. She was crying.
Yeah,
City
so I just
Girls.
want to say thanks. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good album, man.
Indeed.
This
Yeah.
will definitely be in
Hopefully, it's
rotation.
not the last one they do back
I
together.
hope
Hopefully,
not.
this is.
Hopefully,
this
there's a
isn't-
tour, low key. Hope they put a tour together.
That would be dope.
Hi,
This
Keith.
kind of kills everything because at one point in time, me and Sean was trying to mastermind a little brother reunion.
Yeah.
On
That
accident.
was on
Quote,
accident
unquote.
on purpose. So we're gonna try to book Fonte with
Foreign exchange.
Foreign Exchange.
Okay.
Book 9th with like Jamla and just bring Pooh in, and
have
hopefully they wouldn't
Oh,
know,
man.
and somehow it would just be this magnus opus.
We just shut the internet down.
It would have been a wrap for the whole Midwest.
We'd have been them guys.
Yeah, I don't think they were in that place at that time.
Well, they wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
Well, look,
That's how we were
there
gonna
was
try
a
to set it
there
up.
was
You
a,
know what? Ironically, that was right close to the time because it was about a year or so ago. We were talking about
It's
maybe
probably
two,
about 2 years ago.
2 or 3 years ago.
When
but
they performed at that festival.
yeah.
No, it was before that.
It was before that. We were
No,
talking
I'm
about
saying it was it close to that?
it's about a year, maybe a year or two before that.
Okay.
look,
Yeah.
because I remember I think Black Expo tried to do that with New Edition. They booked Belle Biv DeVoe and then like Johnny Gill and Ralph Tresvant and Bobby Brown all separately. Yeah, no,
Not
Didn't
gonna
work
happen.
out.
Yeah,
it was
that's
not the
gonna happen.
time.
Imagine that.
All right, man. Let's shout out to the partners real quick before we get into this list. Shout out to Dr. Coleman and Coleman Dental 317-255. I cannot see 8546.
Well,
I
we
should
said
know by
that
now.
you didn't have to say the phone
That's
number.
all right though, but it's
cool.
cool though. It's on the banner. It's all good.
Google's out here.
Yeah, for sure.
Strong.
Do your Google. Shout out to Frederick Star. All right, bringingdowntheband.com as always. I'll see the banner. Make sure you check them out. Printfinity is always another partner.
It's
Indie
only
CD
twice.
and
Only,
Vinyl.
only pressed it twice.
You're doing good. Indie CD and Vinyl, they keep us laced with the wax. No Bad Ideas. No Bad Ideas gave us some new work. We normally have a hat here. I don't know where it went.
It's all back there.
There's
You
a
can probably
book
see
bag
it.
in the corner.
It's a whole section. You can
Yeah.
come over here and go shopping.
Man, the hat matches the book bag, and there's a wallet to go with that joint.
Yeah.
So shout out to No Bad Ideas.
We're gonna be giving that out to one of our patrons.
Word.
So
We
that-
might even give a hat or two away at Trees too for
Hey.
those in Indianapolis.
Actually,
Yeah.
we'd probably do that.
We can do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to everyone that has helped us get to where we are this far. All the partners, we appreciate you all. All right, so
Dun,
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun.
yeah, I needed that.
Dun,
Right
dun,
there.
dun, dun, dun. Can we get that one?
I don't have it queued.
Oh shit!
Oh man,
Well, I just did it. Spoolz, can you do your
you do that?
rendition, please?
He was
No,
like,
he said
no.
no.
Never mind.
It's like I just don't do shit on demand.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna argue with you.
Spoolz is definitely not about to auger.
Nah, he ain't
All right.
arguing.
So we are down to the
He
top.
might ride a bike.
He might. Mike could.
Mike could ride a
Yeah,
bike.
he might could. All right, man.
Everyone knows this.
Yeah.
Everybody knows this.
You
I don't
have
think
that
nobody
queued
care,
either?
man.
All right, so
People
Let's
know
do it. The
We-
final countdown.
Are there any
Fine.
other papers, or do I have to look at my computer?
I think he kind of played you because
I
his
did because he has
post,
a computer.
his
I
post
played
was
him.
on some Mike shit. He was like,
I played him on purpose.
Lone can just look at his computer.
He did last week.
You know, I'll do that. That's fine. I
I
think
bet
Mike.
it worked.
Here, here,
No, I got it. I
They
got
it.
trace
Like,
all
you
the
know,
printing
shoot,
back.
Damn
to
right.
Crash your
him.
computer trying to bring it
I
up.
can
You
pull
gotta,
it
put
up.
your, you gotta put your code in.
He's only
and work.
recording our show on
And
the
he's like,
computer.
man, if I can just do 4 instead of 5.
Thank
you,
What's
man.
better? If they ever ask me.
I wanted to talk to you on your face.
It's like I had a meeting with 3 other people,
Yeah,
Hey, man.
not 4.
yeah.
Oh, you're coming today?
trying
keep
to
you
save
fired
work
out here,
some
man.
some paper.
Yeah,
Yep.
man.
They
And they're
making
stealing-
all that money.
And they're
I
stealing
brought,
office
I brought my
supplies.
computer, but I wanted everybody else to have a hard copy.
Goddamn right.
Cool.
I think so.
And they're like, you're fucking fired. Because you shouldn't be printing shit for your personal use.
Hell, if that's the case, I should have printed 100. If that's the case,
You in here making flyers?
Oh, you got a fucking text message like, don't come back. You just wasted XYZ.
Hey, the day
hours.
when they start firing folks over text
yeah,
is the day when corporate America really ain't shit.
man, that's tough.
They'll fire you on a Friday
Oh, I guarantee there's
afternoon while
somebody
you're
out
on
there.
lunch. Just text you while you're on lunch. Hey, just don't come back.
Don't come
Hey, if
back.
you've ever been fired via text message,
You can pick up
drop
your
us
box.
a comment.
Yeah,
Because I
Yeah,
guarantee
please.
it's happened before.
Yeah.
It has to.
Look, the last time when I was
Hey,
fired from Comcast, I
you
wish
can-
they'd have fired me from text. I drove all the way to Fisher's that day,
Ain't that a
Oh,
bitch?
man.
and they gave me a thank you for being here for 1 year, and it's like, and then they boxed up my plaque and the
That's
rest
where
of
I
my
was going.
stuff.
Ain't that
And,
funny?
have a
uh,
text that says, "Hey,
Turn in your key card.
pick your shit up
Dang.
at the front desk."
Yeah, it's outside.
Yeah, we just left it by the bushes.
Right by the bushes.
All right,
I
man.
could burn the whole place down.
No salt. No salt.
No thought.
All right, man. Y'all
so
ready?
we got
Let's
the top
go.
20,
Top 20.
and what we're gonna do too. So if you're watching, If you check in the description or go to newoldheads.com, you'll be able to see our entire listing of 1 to 156. But also on there is the spreadsheet, a link to the spreadsheet. You're going to be able to see how we voted every individual artist, each individually, which created our overall score.
It's interactive.
It is.
Get with it.
Cutting edge. I like that.
And we may have some other things in the works for you to be able to do this at home as well too. So that will be unveiled down the line.
I like it.
Awesome.
Bada boom, bada bing.
All right. So
Let's go.
And there are no ties
There are
in
no
the top
ties,
20.
yeah.
So
It's crazy.
yeah. All right. So
Is this during this portion? Can we mention where they were when they, as people get brought up, where they were on our personal list?
we can do that.
yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
don't have mine. I actually don't even agree with my personal list, but hey, that's
Oh,
neither
you
here
mean
nor
like
there.
on our person? Oh, where we put them?
Yes.
Oh,
I
yeah,
got you.
okay.
I mean, you don't have to do that. I've done that.
Oh, okay.
I'm just
I
saying, can we bring that up? Or
I
is that
can
something
pull it
you
up
wanna
if
do?
you
Spoolz
want.
got some. He did his extra credit.
Yeah.
We got
No,
20
while
minutes.
you
I think
guys
we
were
got time.
talking about Little Brother, I was like, all right, well, I just want to see where these guys fell. on
Extra
my
credit.
list.
He gets a star sticker.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
All right.
You got it pulled up for the extra.
Yeah, but I mean, I'd have to scroll through some
Okay.
shit though, so it's gonna be. If you got phones, I'd say pull them out.
Aha.
Otherwise,
All right. Let's
It's all
jump in.
good. Just want to make sure I could bring it up. You know what I mean?
that's cool.
Didn't want to spoil anything.
Let's keep it moving.
Drew my line at the 20th person, which is Busta Rhymes. 7.62 is his score.
Yep.
I think I had Busta ranked the highest along with Lone. 7.9 is what I see. Is that correct?
Indeed.
And then I think Spoolz and Terry were second. We were all pretty close on this one. Nothing really stood out on this one.
Yeah.
Busta's dope. Like,
Tell me,
No.
Busta ain't top 20.
man,
Yeah.
We
for
can't.
real.
He is top 20.
That's accurate.
Busta's dope. All right.
Accurate.
Very accurate.
Next,
19.
Redman, Reggie Noble,
Hmm.
7.66. Lone and I tied again. We were on the same page on this one. Highest score went to Spoolz, 8.1. And then Jay Moore was pulling up the rear at 7.8.
Well, actually, Terry was.
Yeah,
Or was that Terry? I'm sorry,
at
Terry.
7.
Yeah.
At 7.
At 7. I'm sorry, at 7. Yep. And Jay Moore at 7.8. Redman, come on, man.
An interesting thing too about all Terry scores is Terry rated everybody a lot lower
I did.
Yeah.
than what we
and
did.
I kept it. I kind of
It was
followed
even.
my own guideline,
Yeah.
which kind of fucked shit up a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see that here in a little bit.
No, actually, it's,
It really,
It
well,
really
didn't
did.
fuck
Not
the
shit up
whole
like
list.
that. I'm
Yeah, not the
saying
whole
as far
list.
as how my top 10
Yeah.
is.
Oh,
Your
yeah.
top 10.
Yeah.
Not the whole list.
Yeah, the top 10 that I ranked is not my personal top 10, but
Yeah.
you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So, 18, we have Big Boy, 7.68, 0.2 over Reggie Noble.
Very close on it with everybody.
Yeah, that's high for Big.
I had him ranked.
0-2.
I had him ranked 19 overall.
Okay. 17, Q-Tip, 7.70. We were pretty close on that one. Spoolz was the highest on that one.
I have him, Redman and Q-Tip, as tied on my personal list at like 7th.
All dope.
In the top 15 of my personal.
Then we have 16 is Bug Bug Pun, whoever that is. Big Pun came in 7.72.
Shouts to Bug Pun.
Shout out to Bug Pun.
Also in my top 15.
Yeah. Shout out to Pun. Pun was nasty, man. I don't think he gets the credit he deserves. 15, 𝗏𝗏 7.74. Lone and I had
sure
him
I was
extremely high.
Easily one of the most consistent artists.
Terry had
definitely.
him. Jay Moore and I had him tied at 7.4. And Terry had him the lowest at just a 7.0.
And that just kind of followed how I was
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of doing things.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's consistent, though. Yours is consistent. 14, Tupac, 7.76. It's pretty legendary. Terry had him the highest.
Which is, that's crazy.
That's your guy, though. I get it.
Jay Moore the lowest at 7.3.
Jay Moore the lowest. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had him decent
I
ranking.
had him in my top 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is that I love Tupac, but there was just when we were talking about categories in math,
Yes, sir.
that's just how I saw it.
Try to keep it fair as possible. 13, G-Rap, 7.78. I had, let's see. I had G-Rap pretty high. Spoolz had him the highest. G-Rap is cold.
G-Rap's
Yeah.
tied for second on my overall list.
Yeah, G-Rap's
I
cold.
think he's
You had him at 8.7
incredible.
overall. So yeah, I mean he definitely is. I had him at 8. I think.
Yep.
You had him at 8.3, Mike.
6.7 for Terry and
Yeah.
7.2 for Jay Moore.
Yeah, G-Rap is a beast.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna. Yeah, I ain't
He
gonna
is,
hold
but
you.
my
he's
my
outside
ranking
of
was
our
pretty
top
much
10.
just off of I'm not hip to new Coogee rap stuff.
Yep.
Like anything outside of his core dope shit.
The only thing I can really think of in modern day, and this is still going back like a decade, was that joint he did with Nas.
Mm-hmm.
He's done.
I was up
records.
on the
If
G
you did a
And I know
record
he's-
with
story
Ill Bill,
I know he's
he did a
done
record
Sound
with,
Bombing
like,
3.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know he's done
Yeah,
some, but
if
that's
you-
the only one that stands out.
38
If you really
Special,
jump,
he's done
you really
shit
go
with
back in
a
there.
bunch-
He's
like, full album. Yeah.
Yeah.
he got some heat. Like he's
Oh,
one.
I know.
He definitely.
I feel
can
like,
still,
and I guess before we move on, the reason, in my opinion, why he's rated that high too, just on my personal list, is because of his influence. I think he helped create a specific kind of genre of hip hop,
Yeah.
like crime rap. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
grimy New York crime rap. But
Especially, yeah,
like being
especially
able to
East
rap
Coast.
extremely well. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. He was very influential to a lot of people.
I think I gave him a 10 on influence.
Yeah,
So.
I remember,
Large
I remember the first time I saw the video for Road to the Riches
yeah,
Yep.
on Yo MTV Raps back in the day, and I was like, this is incredible.
large,
That's when
large,
he was still with Cool G rapping Polo.
Yep, DJ Polo.
Yep.
large Pro said they called Nas baby G-Rap. So there it is. All right, 12. KRS-One. Talk about legendary. 7.80.
Wow.
He got
Terry.
8s all the way
You don't- you
across.
don't mess with the
board, except
teacher?
for Terry.
Man, my
Does
numbers are
not.
consistent.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I ain't mad. Yeah.
There's definitely there's like 5 or 6 on your list, and then there's a cliff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so shout out to KRS-One, man.
It happens.
Legendary.
And him and G-Rap are only 0.02 off.
It's that
from
close.
I
they're
mean,
very
all
close.
these.
This is all super close.
And
All these
even
ones.
even on my ranking is 0.1.
Yeah, it's getting very close.
Yeah.
Ghostface, Killer,
Number
number 11, 7.82. You know,
Most,
Ghost,
most consistent,
man.
I think, yeah. Other
Wu-Tang
than
member.
other than the Ghost Dini, the Wizard of Poetry, which was the only one I was just like, nah, Ghostface ain't. You know,
Supreme Clientele is one of my favorite albums
Ever.
period.
I'm talking
Yep.
about Sour Soul. I'm talking
Man.
about the joints he's done. What was the joint?
Sour Soul was
Revenge
cold.
of Ghostface.
Yeah, the Adrian Young joint.
Yeah, he's done like
Bad,
2 or
Bad,
3 of
Not
those.
Good.
Him and
Yeah.
Apollo Brown had some heat.
Definitely surprised to see him fall outside of the top 10.
Ghost is that dude. Man.
I'm not when we look at who's in our top 10.
Yeah. I am.
Mhm.
I've missed 3rd on my list, personal list.
Yeah.
Let's see. So we are now
6.7.
we are to the top
Enjoy
10.
it, Spoolz. Enjoy it.
All right, so
Okay.
top 10, 7.86. Royce the 5'9".
It's going to be controversial for people.
Hey man, Royce is nasty, man.
He's way higher than Eminem.
Ooh.
yeah.
That,
Which
I rank
was
Eminem.
Yes, he
High.
is.
I mean, I
we
did
all
too.
I think we all ranked him.
Yeah.
higher than Eminem.
But
Royce is nasty, man.
well, Royce is, yeah. I mean, Royce is in
pride
my
of
top
the-
5 anyways. Period.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I think I had
Yeah.
Lone was the highest. I think I was
Yep.
second.
Yeah,
Yeah, Spoolz was third. Yeah,
I'm quite high on Royce.
yeah, Royce is that dude. All right, 9. Scarface, 7.94. We get into the super legendary cast.
And that was a significant jump right there. I
It
mean,
was.
if we, I mean, kind of 0.08.
Yeah, faces.
So.
Yeah.
And when you look at these are some interesting numbers here. So he's number 1 on my overall list.
Mm-hmm.
Scarface.
8.8.
I gave him 8.3.
8.3, 8.3. I can see that. The 7.3
Yep.
and then the 7 that's rough for Scarface.
I like Scarface,
Face.
but I can't put him higher than the.
Scarface
than a lot of
actually,
people.
that's what I'm saying as far as my list. Because I wasn't going back checking how I was scoring these people
Yeah.
to see how they were filing. If I had to give you a list of my top 10 favorite artists,
He's definitely.
it's not going to fall the same way
same
that
way,
it
yeah.
fell
Oh,
with
absolutely.
these numbers.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, I
no.
understand
I mean, it's a system, so
Yeah.
you know we did the best we could.
I'm just saying. I'm just looking at the, pointing out the differences. That's all.
So Face was in at number 9. All right, number 8, Rakim, 7.98. I gave him an 8.1. Spoolz 8.7. Lone with an 8.0. I mean, Rakim.
He's tied with G-Rap as for second on my overall list, behind Scarface at number 1.
I'm not mad at Rakim.
I mean, definitely.
That's what it ended up being.
Yeah, it's sometimes I feel like one of the things with the old artists that were definitely influencers on a lot of the newer generations is that when they continue to go throughout their career, but they don't seem to adapt very overly great with the times necessarily.
Right.
It does hurt them a little bit.
That's fair.
And doesn't
Some
mean
of my scores reflect that too, because I was scoring based on if I'm still listening to who would have, if you had met me at a different point in my life, who would have been the main factors of people I'm listening to.
And if they stopped rapping at a specific time, that would be different.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
So, but
All right.
Just makes you wonder what would have happened if Rakim would have dropped that album on Aftermath. Because a lot of those beats that were supposed to be for his album wound up being basically Get Rich or Die Trying.
Man,
there's rumors he's actually going to drop a project this coming year.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, me too.
I'm here for it. All right, so we're getting to our first 8 level score. My man 𝗏𝗃 8.0. I'm not mad. Common probably my favorite rapper overall. But
Yeah, Common's up there for
Common,
he scored high with Lone and Spoolz, 8.8 and 8.2.
You got to think about this. Common, we're talking about a dude 25 years in the game,
consistent though.
about
still.
to put out an album next week, and I can't wait to hear it.
Facts.
Who is?
Common. He's got
Next
another album
week?
next week.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it.
But see,
This year's
that's-
getting interesting.
to me, that's a little bit of a difference in some of the artists whose longevity has literally, like, kind of reinventing and staying kind of modern with things that are going on. You know, that's
And
why.
it's just, kind of like when we've talked about people being able to grow up in hip hop, Common starting off as a Southside Chicago kind of knucklehead
Yeah.
to being an ambassador, for everything from mental health to, just the overall health of the community. It's a great thing to see, and it's crazy because, like I said, most of my favorite rappers, even on this list, are people well into their 40s, if not damn near 50.
Yeah.
yeah.
Shout out to 𝗏, man. 𝗏 is
For sure.
definitely legendary. Multiple classics. All right, 8.06. We have Kendrick Lamar. Oh, they're gonna be mad at this one. I
Number
know so many
6.
people
But
that
that
don't like
he's
Kendrick.
so high?
Yeah, I know a lot of people that don't like Kendrick.
Really? Who are
over-
these people?
Call him overrated. Credible people too. They call him overrated. That's another
Damn
conversation.
that.
I don't know. He's got classic to me. So I mean,
It's kind of hard.
He ain't dropped a dud yet.
Has not dropped a dud. Yeah, he got.
and they all sound different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's impeccable at picking beats. I mean,
Put it like this: if Ice Cube came out in this era and dropped his albums like he did, because he dropped 4 back to back that could be considered classics, right?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No, yeah.
He would definitely be in the same position as a Kendrick Lamar
today.
right now.
Yeah.
It's just what followed those. They kind of.
He been real quiet too, so I think he cooked.
Something's
so we're
coming.
Curious to see what he's about to come out with. So, Kendrick, go ahead and do that album like Little Brother, man. We need that one.
this was gonna hurt people's feelings.
Now we started getting to the robberies. So top 5, man. 8.18.
Dead or alive.
My man Nasir. I gave him a clear and a cut above all of y'all. With a 9.1. I think Nas is amazing.
To be fair, I didn't rank anybody in the 9s.
That's cool. I get it.
Jay Moore had him the lowest at 7.4.
Talk to me about that.
I
man.
wasn't even the
Lone-
lowest.
Lone wasn't the lowest. I'm surprised at that because he hate Nas.
Consistency.
I don't hate Nas. Quit perpetuating it. You know what
I'm
our
not
fan
put-
base is
I'm
like.
not
They
putting
all
up-
think we hate Nas anyways.
No,
Yeah.
I love Nas. Oh, they still mad about the lost tapes.
I
Right?
Nas was 5th on my list overall. So
Go
ahead, Jay Moore. Tell
I'm
me
a
about the
Nas fan,
7.4,
but
man.
I have to be honest. He's not the most consistent artist.
Still thinking about the lost tapes.
Luckily I did this before the Lost Tapes came out. He might not.
7.4,
That's
I
true.
might not have got a 7.4.
That's
He's ranked 25th on my list total.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah. So even as a Nas fan, I have to be honest with the fact there are Nas
That's
albums
rough, dude.
I haven't listened to in years. haven't gone back and listened to Nostradamus. I don't even go back and listen to
Nostradamus was trash.
I don't even go back and listen to I Am. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I like I Am.
I
like
too.
that album.
yeah, I mean,
I like most of it.
Yeah, Nostradamus was awful. I ain't gonna argue with you there.
I mean, Nostradamus had joints that I like, but you know what I'm saying? It's like there was so much competition in hip hop at that time that it was easy for me to move on from it.
And that was also the era of trying to hurry up and put something out. I think DMX might have started that trend by putting those two albums out in the same year.
That's rare though, because he dropped 2 cold albums in the same year.
Yeah, almost.
I wouldn't say cold.
Yeah.
I say cold. I like both.
Flesh in My Flesh.
He took advantage of his situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Blood on My Blood was
they're
nah.
both
You
good,
go
though.
back, it's not a great album.
Maybe I have to revisit it.
And then there was X was much better.
Yeah.
Oh God, another day.
Yeah, Nas drops low on me, obviously, in the enjoyability factor because I don't typically enjoy his music on a repeat value basis because of his beat selection.
You know, and the thing is,
That's what it is. Can't take anything away from what he's saying as a rapper because he's dope as fuck. But
Illmatic, still listen to it from time to time. Still go back. I don't even.
I don't
Thank
like
you.
Stillmatic.
Stillmatic. I
Thank
thought
you.
Godson was better than Stillmatic.
Life is Good is incredible.
I just
To me,
listened
those
to
are
Life is Good last
those are
week.
his two classic. Life is Good and
whoa,
Illmatic.
whoa.
So
Yeah.
he only got 2.
That's
Wait a
it.
minute. Wait a minute. Wait.
Reflected in my score.
Yeah, that is how he feels.
I can see
All right.
paper
that's how
And
I-
this is coming from somebody who really likes Nas. but I
paper
just
balls
gotta,
being
you know,
thrown at
That's
the
how I feel.
Yeah.
computer. Yeah, you definitely on your pimp.
Oh
suit
yeah,
right
we're
there.
gonna get some comments about Nas only
It
having
was
2
written
classics.
as damn near
He
perfect.
top 5. So
Come on,
shit.
classic.
Man, you fake.
How you leave out it was written? Oh my God.
Easily.
Oh my God. All right, I'm getting my blood pressure.
Top
All
4.
right.
Now this is a big jump here.
Yeah. So for Nas from 8.18, we jumped all the way up to 8.40 for Mr. Christopher Wallace. Rest in peace.
Is the first one that gets an 8, at least an 8 from everybody.
I had him the highest 8.9. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
self-explanatory,
pretty consistent.
pretty much. Yeah.
Lone and I had him at the same
8.1.
Yeah, so
8.4. Yeah, we all had him pretty close.
Dead
legendary,
heat.
man. Legendary.
Biggie's
Gotta
one of
love
those
Big.
guys like you wonder where he would be right now.
Man.
You know,
He'd either be still on top of the game, he'd have found something else to do, or he'd be on
DMX in it.
Koch or something.
Biggie
Well, not
would've-
even Koch, like he'd be on Empire.
Biggie would have had Kanye's spot for Watch the Throne, and it would have
Shit,
been
with Jay
10
out
times
here,
better.
I don't
No,
think
he did.
Big would have been that
Jay
low
would
on
have.
the
It would have been
totem pole.
Jay and Biggie. They were going to do an. They were already planning.
That's
to do
what
an
I'm
album
saying.
together.
Like
Yeah.
the commission, like, oh my goodness. Anyway, oh my, this next one is sad, man.
I'm
This
not gonna argue with
this
you.
is sad. This is sad.
Just-
It ain't really
says
sad.
you.
It's
point.
top. Yes, I mean
This
it's
is
top
what
3.
makes
So
our
we
this is
should
what makes
mention-
our list better than other lists. Actually,
Yeah.
For sure.
So this is 0.2 higher than the previous, which is
Yes.
significant.
Good.
And then in the top 3 are only 0.06 apart.
Between them, yep.
It's relatively significant because we're really talking about 20 points when everybody's scores
Right.
could have been like at a max of 1,000. So it's
Yeah,
spread across 10 categories, like all that shit, like considered.
0.2
it's-
is a lot. Yeah.
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 It is and it isn't. Though.
Yeah,
You know what
for
I mean?
sure.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, man. So coming in number 3, we got Jay-Z, man.
8.6.
It's
the rock.
8.60. Yeah.
I had him at
Your
a 9.
boy.
I had him at a 9.2. I don't understand how anything below a 9 is.
I mean, my scores are all consistent, and I didn't rank anybody at 9s.
Yeah, I'm taking you out the equation then because you consistent with that. But
I had him at an 8.9.
yes, you did. Spoolz
Yeah.
had him at 7.5.
I did indeed.
What type of shit is that?
And she should be a little, I would put him a little higher. You know what I mean? Like, but,
Oh, my
you know,
goodness.
I don't.
He would have won if you just would have.
Would have
I
won
did-
what? What's he
I
gonna
did my
win? A piece of
ranking.
cake?
I did my ranking based off being a manager. You know how a manager can never give you 100%.
Yeah.
Like they tell you always got to improve on something,
All the
improve
time.
on something, even though you top notch.
We tell Red August
kinda
that
took
all
that
the
angle.
time.
you're the
Yeah.
top. You're the most profitable division in the country, but there's still something you can do better.
Right.
You know, even so, I'm still not even mad at our top 3. So
Nah, I'm
No.
not
I mean,
even-
No, not at
got
all.
3
And I
incredible
did.
artists.
I did at some point. What, a couple weeks ago, go through every one of those rankings and explain why I ranked him. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't even look at it because I would have changed something if I had seen what my top
That's
10 ended
That's
up
why I
being.
think it's good we
I
didn't
locked
look at
it.
each other's lists.
Yeah,
I
I'd
locked
have
it.
No,
I locked
this
it.
was
10.0 if that's
Yeah,
the case.
I didn't know if you did or not, but we just.
Well, actually, I didn't. But I just said that just in case. I was watching the scores. If Jay-Z randomly popped up higher, I'd been like, hold up. Let me go back into the top number
I'd have
one.
went
And
back.
and lock it.
All right.
Let's
White
get
privilege.
into the nitty gritty.
Who's
Yeah,
number
I know,
2,
right?
Mike?
Number 2, Andre 3000.
This is
My
controversial.
God.
Look at that.
With this-
8.64.
With a score of .04 higher than
Jay.
number 3, Jay-Z.
I actually had Jay-Z and Andre tied when it came down to the numbers.
I'm tired of people disrespecting
At
3
number
stacks,
1.
man.
Do you think people would
Yeah.
disrespect 3 stacks?
You'd be surprised.
I feel like if you don't put him in a conversation,
Mike's friends do.
you've got
Not only
you
mine.
are. If you're not putting him in the conversation, it's disrespect.
I just don't
Hey,
understand.
nobody rap like 3000.
I just don't understand
Nobody.
the thinking behind not having dude in your top 5, top 10.
People
minimum.
will say it's because he doesn't have
Understand.
technically have a solo album.
Okay.
People also don't think he raps on beat, and I'm
Man,
like,
I don't understand that at all. I mean, he has his own cadence, but it
These are
still
people whose favorite
follows the
rapper is
beat.
Blueface.
Yeah,
Man.
these are people that probably never studied music or actually, because I think everybody here has a musical background.
Yeah.
that actually
Yeah.
knew something about music before hip hop was that one. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So structurally, the way he raps is always on beat.
I got your head still nodding, and my verse ain't rhyme.
I see what you did there.
Fonte.
I don't see, like, with stacks, I just don't see, there's no flaws in this game. Like, I don't see
None.
any flaws. Like,
None.
as a
The
as
only
an
the
MC,
only flaw he has is that he hasn't put out material in the last 10.
that's it.
12
Yeah.
years.
But as a rapper, I don't see any flaws in this.
Except
What's
for features.
crazy,
Except
too,
for features.
he said he doesn't
Highly
want to be that
skilled.
artist that dies and has all this music out that he never put out.
Like,
So when are you gonna put that shit out?
Put
man?
it out, man.
yeah.
And give me one more.
When has he gave you a whack feature?
Never.
Never.
So I guess number 1 is hopefully pretty obvious.
Now, speaking of no flaws,
Never a flaw.
For some people, are like, who could be number 1?
I know, right? 8.66, 0.2 above 3 stacks.
.02.
0.02, I'm sorry.
The GOAT.
0.02. Black Thought. Ladies and
Thought.
gentlemen, Black Thought.
How about that?
Goddamn right.
You know
Hey,
what?
shout out
Yeah.
to OK Player too, because
Yup.
magically today I got a top fan badge on OK Player's page.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know
Okay.
where that came from. That was
You've been commenting, huh?
not really.
You've been in there arguing with people, ain't you?
I don't be
On
arguing
the
with
boards.
that,
Aga.
but-
You've been
I was
in
banned from the boards at one point.
Word, yeah, I
Yeah.
got the top fan.
We know why
diamond
with
on
that
there.
Nas
On
score.
Facebook.
Yeah,
Years
I
ago.
got some top fan thing for Big Crit's page. And I was like, okay.
That's what's
I
up,
got
that's
one
what's
for
up.
Vice and for the Young Turks. I don't even think I accepted it.
Hey, you put me on to the Young Turks.
I just get in there and argue with people and then leave.
Mm-hmm.
So Black Thought
Black Thought.
is the
He gave like a
champion
9-minute freestyle live on TV.
and didn't miss a beat.
I don't think there is a more consistent MC ever.
Hey man,
Think about it.
Continually throughout his entire career.
It's been giving you more than 25 years worth of bars. If you're talking about organics to now, there's never been a time where I heard Black Thought and be like, come on, man.
ever.
And I think most MCs that are MCs that talk about the greatest rapper ever are probably going to list Black
They'll
Thought
tell
in
you
the
that.
top.
They'll tell you
top.
Your
Like,
favorite rapper's favorite rapper.
Yeah,
I mean, you can have personal favorites, but if you're going to list,
his,
I
his
can't
freestyle on Flex.
I can't list people higher than Black Thought.
Yeah, man, Black Thought. I'm not, even if this is not.
I'm happy because it's my personal.
It.
My personal goat actually ended up being our goat, but
It is.
but
And then you're talking about how many Roots albums, 14, 15.
Yeah.
He's, putting out his, he put out the joint last summer. That was like, I was upset when it was over because it was so fantastic.
I mean,
to just
sure.
hear somebody
He
going
did the
off
joint
like
with
that.
Salam Remy.
Salam Remy.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
did two
Did a
of them.
second
Didn't
one.
Yeah.
One with Ninth Wonder,
he? Oh, that's right.
and
yeah,
they
yeah.
snapped.
And I remember getting real excited. This is around the time of Phrenology, that album that had Break You Off. I remember he was getting ready to do a solo all the way back then. I remember it was going to be called like Hardware. And then because he had thought At Work was supposed to be a solo joint. But then it just wound up being, another group song. But there's no, I as a fan of hip hop going back 3 and 4 decades now, which is crazy to think about. I don't see how you could have any. I don't have any issue with this, even though
I'm not
he wasn't
mad at
my
this
highest
one bit.
rated person.
Nor am I, man.
Yeah,
If y'all
man.
gonna be mad at any list, it ain't gonna be this one.
Nah,
Nah.
none of that foolishness.
You might want to switch a couple around because of your personal preference.
Yeah.
But as far as that,
This is a credible list.
Look,
This
the
is a
fact that
credible list.
I saw so many of these top 50 lists that didn't even have Common listed.
man,
Come on.
I saw one without 𝗂𝐻 I was like,
And we definitely forgot some people, but I
We
don't think.
did.
But I don't think any of the people we forgot would probably have cracked the top 50 necessarily. So
cream of the crop still was the dudes
It
that
was
you
what it
usual
was.
Button is
suspects.
not number 3 on our list.
Not at all.
I think he's 103.
Okay. There's a difference in the list.
Shots.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to everybody that rode with
Yes.
us while we broke
Yes,
this
thank you.
down and
9 weeks.
formulated our list. And
Yeah.
It's
There
kind
you
of
have
crazy.
it.
And you know, if you're coming to Treese and you want to talk to us about our list, hey,
Please
we'll
stop
be
by.
in the Fountain
Plaza.
Square or the
if you want
Plaza.
to run a fade,
Oh,
hey. if you
Yeah, I've
wanna
been
run a
working
fade,
out, so I'm ready to go ahead and put in this work if you want to
Yes.
do all that.
Yeah. It's 5 of us though, so
6.
If you got a
7.
if you got a
7,
crew, you
actually,
better
yeah.
tell them.
yeah.
all right, man. Let's go do it for this episode.
We're talking about breakdancing.
We appreciate you all for supporting and rocking with us for the entire crew. I am Major 7, and we will see y'all next week.